This is the game from the second day, and we will start reviewing this together. We started this time with the whites, and I decided to follow up the game that I lost yesterday. And I said, let's start and try to apply that tactic and see where it leads us. He starts with the pawn in front of the bishop next to the queen, which I'm not really familiar with, but it seems like it's a book move, so I follow up with my initial strategy, not really sure what he's gonna do, but I wanted to wait and see what he develops. Another move was to free up the queen and the knight. I thought maybe it's that's exactly what he's going to do. So I wanted to still prepare my development as I know and try to push it. This is an inaccuracy. I was unsure when it happened exactly what was his move. I'm really curious what the game says. Oh, this has put a lot of pressure on me early. He could have defended easily and then take it back uh, quite quite easily. So I guess if I would ever be in this situation, I know that could be better. I still continue to develop myself here. Seems like there's something very minutiously better. Um, Probably here to try and deny his push, maybe. All right. This is seen as a good move. Over here, I was just thinking on how to make a castle faster and put my king to good protection. I'm curious, still the same pawn would have been considered to be best. This is considered a mistake. Um, I'm curious why. Well, obviously, I saw this, but I thought that there was something even better than this move. And then he's forced to go back or lose the horse. He goes back, and here I did castle. It seems like it's considered an accuracy that was something that I could have done better. And then here maybe to force a fork, he would have challenged me. And then what do you games see that have been better? I see, I see. I do end up going for this, okay? Yeah, and I force him to move the king, and he won't be able to do castle anymore. Yeah, I do end up doing this in the future, just not right now. I saw castle being a better move since that even more advantage for me. This considers an accuracy. I'm curious what the okay, moving still the pawn to get probably captured the mid of the table. Um, Here, honestly, I wanted to develop further. Let me think. Um, I think I was looking for an angle on this one, um, but it was pretty weak. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what I was trying to do here, which is a thing to have in mind for the future. Not to develop without thinking, because I can't explain right now what I had in mind. I think it's a weak angle to think it's gonna eat with the queen here. I'm curious. Yeah, still the same knight move. All right, he moves with the pawn to challenge me. The game still seems to move that on. Right here, they've been the best move, it seems. Yeah, hit the horse. I thought about this move to be honest, but I think I had someone in the past tell me that it's worse in this type of exchanges to lose a bishop for a horse, and it is better to do it otherwise, like to lose a horse for a bishop, which is what I thought I'm gonna give you an advantage, but it seems this was good. Maybe because it's coupled with towering two pawns. 2 pawns. And then retreat with the horse. And then he would have pushed forward. I see what the game thinks would have been better. This is also considered an accuracy. Yeah. So you can move with the horse more, but moving the pawn now he's blocking the horse even more from moving. Then I defend back with a horse. Seems like he moved well here, though I'm not sure exactly what he wanted to develop. And then right here, I see the move. That's the fork. Honestly, I thought it's gonna be weak to give the horse for the pawn, for the bishop, but in hindsight, I think it's better because it forces the king to move. They can't do castle anymore. Um, Personally, I was expecting him or like hoping, but yeah, in any kind of strategy, if you hope for the enemy to be dumb, that's not a strategy at all. I hope that he's going to move here, to be fair, because that would have been easier for me to pressure him. Um, he instead goes here and challenges the horse. Um, then I hit the pawn. I'm curious what to consider to be the best to defend the horse right here. Okay. And yeah, I suppose I could have put pressure right here on the pawn bishop, maybe. No, yeah, I should have defended this one so I can eat this one here. All right. He eats the horse, then I move the pawn and try and force him out of this place because if he eats this one, then I'm free to move with the tower. Um, and put pressure on the horse. He feels the pressure and he retreats. Then I feel free to eat the pawn. That's the best move I could have taken. Then this is an exchange that I think happens naturally. D5 would have been the best. Okay. Um, yeah, he moves to put pressure on the bishop. Here I move the pawn and I try and defend it. I think this one is gonna be retreat to put pressure on this pawn. So I can move this one. I think here maybe, which would have been there would have been a pressure here. And they've moved the pawn forward, and I moved the queen, so he's trapped in case he hits the bishop. Then he will have to move to change the position of the tower, and then put even more pressure on the queen, and then force him to retreat, and more pressure on this angle. Okay. Good to have in mind. He eventually does this move. In a certain way, it happened as I was looking, but he chose to play a little bit more aggressively here. Um, all right, I put pressure on the bishop. He moves back to protect his bishop. Um, ah, wait, I got bamboozled here. This was what the game was recommending. This was his moves. So like considering accuracy, probably eating it would have been the best, or like move the tower there. I'm curious why. I can't see exactly why. He would have moved the king. That's been a big bad decision. This one is not protected. I'm curious. Okay, now they've been. I see. Now I see. Yeah, it seems I can't see 3 moves ahead yet, so I could plan this one. Um, all right, they've been defended 3 ways. Probably would move the bishop first. Even better, a pawn. And the tower. Okay, interesting. Yeah, definitely would have been better. I decided to um, move this pawn in case he takes this. I can take this and both defend my bishop. Though in retrospective, I think I could have just as well ate the pawn here and without this many moves. This one was a mistake on his part because he wanted to attack this in 2-way. Yeah, putting pressure on my bishop would have been better. I see this angle that he puts himself in. Now it's a fork. He's forced to either take the bishop or lose the queen. He chooses to to move the queen, and I take the tower, which is an obvious result. I lose the bishop here, but it was a good exchange. Then I see a chance to take an attack or swing on the king. King moves to defend. Then I'm trying to develop more on this side. I wasn't really sure exactly how to go on an attack, but I saw this angle. I know they're pretty linear wings, but this is the level I'm at this moment. Um, and yeah, he pretty simply moved to put pressure on the tower. I moved to protect them and put pressure on the king. Now here I wasn't exactly sure what is the best move, so I thought maybe I'm gonna try and play a bit more aggressive. But yeah, I did a very dumb mistake, and I moved the bishop here because I thought I'm gonna put pressure on the king. The king can't move anywhere here, so it's gonna be a mate. And yep, it was a pretty simple move to see that that angle is protected. I wasn't careful. I was just too happy that I can end this. I don't need to do one move. And then he takes the tower if he wants to play. Then I take this one, and then develop from there. I was like, yeah, just one move and the game, and it prolonged the game way more. And honestly, I am pretty bad at finishing up chess games. I'm still looking to develop a lot in that area. This one goes just as it would have went if I didn't lose the bishop. Now probably would have been perfect to develop with it. Now the king moves here. I can see that it's protected by the bishops, so I'm not gonna attack it. I see another angle for chess. He moves to defend. Then I take the pawn because I'm thinking to develop more in this angle. He takes that one. Then I see another angle to play the king. He moves to defend. Right here, I wasn't sure exactly what to do, but then I thought like, yeah, maybe I'm gonna bring out the tower now, so I can play with that. Then it very well sees this angle, and here, to be honest, I mean, as shameful as it may seem, I didn't know exactly how to finish this game. Um, I thought about a lot of things. If I would be going here, then to be chess, and then maybe it goes here, and then I can go here to play chess again, and then take the bishop, or maybe just come here and do just basically the same thing. But I didn't see it at that moment that if I go here, it's not gonna be an angle to take the bishop. Yeah, I should have just went with the first idea. I don't know. I'm questioning myself without needing to. Yeah, it seems an inaccuracy. I'm curious what would have been the best move. All right, and I move to defend because probably +9. Then with this move, mating 5 to be an accuracy. Yeah, I think this one would be way better because if I go here, the chess and he can't move like this, he should have to do this anyway. Yeah, I didn't think that this is way more powerful. So yeah, I just went here. It's not a big mistake, just doesn't help me at all in this situation. He moves predictably. I cannot, because of the pawn, I cannot fork. So again, it's pretty uselessly. Then I play this angle again, hoping that it's gonna come back, and then I can just play until I find an angle to take the bishop out. But he moves the horse in, a very good move that he saw. And from here on, I was, yeah, maybe I'm gonna go and put pressure on this bishop, then continue in this one and brute force my way to the king. He sees that as a good move. I moved to protect the queen and the pawn because it was a double attack. Then he moves here. I noticed that if he goes down here, he can give a mate. So that was a pretty dangerous move to get in. I will move the pawn here so I can take the bishop because as long as the tower stays here, then the king is protected. He moves in to stop my pawn from becoming a queen. And to be fair, he could have taken it with the horse. Um, Then I play with the chess to the king. Obviously, he moves the bishop here. I wasn't expecting it at first, so I didn't have something prepared. I was like, okay, I'm gonna put more pressure on the bishop. And also, if he moves it somewhere else than here, then I can move the pawn and have a swing at the tower. He plays it here. Seems the game says it's a very good idea to try and take the pawn. I'm moving the pawns here because I want to put pressure on this bishop right here. It's obviously protected by the horse, so I can't take it. And here's what would have been the best. Take the swing. Okay, and move. I move the tower. Then okay, put better pressure on it from above, I think. Yeah, so I can't move the pawn, I think. All right, that's the higher level than I can account for now. He moves it back. Seems like this one is an inaccuracy on my end. Should have moved the tower. Honestly, here I was still afraid, and I forgot that I made for myself room because I had in mind to just go with the pawns here. That I forgot that I can just move with the king if he comes here. So it's like, yeah, that tower is blocked on that end. Then he does this blunder, which honestly I think he just threw the game because he either got tired with the game or couldn't concentrate anymore. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, this just makes him to resign. To be fair, he couldn't defend himself anymore, and probably I understand the move with tower to be here is just so he can't move the horse anymore, and that would have allowed me to put more pressure on the bishop. Mm. Yeah, all in all, it was a win. It was a win, but it shows that I have more to develop on both seeing the angles. Like when I back here with the bishop, um, I lost it needlessly here. This was a pretty dumb move on my part. I should have just went with this one. With I ended up with doing anyway. I just would have had more material in the end, and I could have handled the end game way better if I was more careful with this one. Um, I'm curious to see if there's another thing that I can account for and learn from it. Um, I think this one here is also maybe a good point that I could probably see better in the future to put more pressure uh, on this. I was playing too defensively. Um, Not really a mistake. Just could have probably played it better. Yeah, this is pretty much the second game. Thank you for following.